goggles the day before, so I started using them that day. And you kind of have to like put your phone in it and then shove it into the thing, so it pushes on some of the buttons. So it turned my phone to silent. And anyways, I went to just go play a game. I was just waiting. I was getting dinner ready, all this stuff prepared for her. It was like 7 o'clock. She's always late anyway, so I was like, no big deal. So it's like 7:30. So I was like, what? Where the fuck is she? So I look at my phone. I have 5 missed calls. She had been sitting outside the house for an hour.
Oh.
And, I live in an apartment, so you got to be able to hit the door code, and I answer it to get in. So she's like, well, I'm going to have a drink with a friend. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I had bought all this nice food for dinner. So I was like, she's like, I'll be home at 10. And she was pissed because she sat outside. I was pissed because I had done all these nice things. So I go to my Mexican restaurant of choice, like where I go to just chill out at the bar, right? So I was like, fuck this. I have to wait 2 hours. I'm going to go have a beer. All right. So I'm wearing nice clothes. I got like my brand new shirt on, and I got these nice, I didn't wear them today because of last night. I bought these nice LeBron 17s. So they're like $225 brand new. Hey, look good, man. And, they're like white, brand new. So I'm wearing
Do they look like these two?
A little bit like them, a little bit.
Bumpy?
Yeah, bumpy.
Right.
Just like that, yeah. And, except they're all white, basically. So I fucking get to the Mexican restaurant. I was like, I'm not even going to do anything crazy. So I get one tall beer. That's it. One tall beer. I pick up the beer just like this, and the bottom falls out.
Oh,
all over me, all over my shoes. So the next 45 minutes, I'm soaking these shoes in soda water at the bar where everyone's being like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You can't get beer out of these shoes. So I soaked I soaked my shoes in soda water, did all this shit. And I was like, I'm going home. This is just not a good day.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. But I think you'll bounce back.
I think so too. Are we started?
We're here. Welcome to the Primordial Soup. I'm Glenn.
This is Will.
And we're going to talk to you about whatever we want to. Hope you like it. If not, then cheers to that as well.
Is it just us two today?
Well, yeah. Well, let's see if we can call old Jeremy, should we?
Yeah. Let's get somebody in here.
See if Jeremy wants to get busy up in here, and
if not, we can do us too.
That's right. We'll be just fine.
I gotta try one of these beers.
Yeah, we're drinking Double Jeopardy over here. Is this local?
Scofflaw is local, yeah.
Okay, 10% alcohol. I mean, Jesus Moses
Christ. 10% alcohol?
Yes, sir.
God, so you give me a choice between a seltzer and a goddamn mini liquor drink.
I know, bro. I'm sorry, dude.
I love your extremes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to make sure if you were no carb in it,
God damn,
then
good.
I was going to give you that. If you were carb in it, then we're going to have a couple of these.
I think I'm going to do one of these and then switch to the no carbs.
Yeah? Why is that?
So I don't want to be fat. And then if I drink 2 of these, I'll be struggling getting home.
Really?
I'm a pussy now.
Yeah. Well, I guess coronavirus does that to you.
Yeah.
Treasure truck. What's that all about?
Dude, it's actually just my favorite fitting hat because I have a giant fucking head. And it just fits so perfect. I got it for free. So it's like an Amazon thing. I don't want to plug.
That's right.
I don't want to plug the richest company in the world.
Yeah. Well, we'll edit that out.
Yeah. But it's basically an Amazon hat. They do a treasure truck. So instead of like doing Prime, you can buy like 10 or 15 items and they just have a truck and they'll park it outside like Whole Foods or Walmart or wherever the fuck. And they'll give away some stickers and shit. And I seen the hat and I was like, what about that hat? And they're like, well, you got to buy something. And then I just kept talking to them and they're like, you know what, guy, just go ahead and take the hat. I was like, fuck yeah, man. I love it. It fits so well.
So there was no Jeremy Adams answer there. And so we'll just cheers
to that.
Do that. Primordial Soup. Primordial. Prime. Oh, I don't know. Thank you. That's my Tourette's.
That's definitely the start.
That's right. That's how we do it. Let me hide the mouse. Oh, the mouse is hidden. Good.
Mouse is hidden.
All right. Good. All right. So what are we talking about today, Mr. Will?
Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Man, go. Shoot. Let's go.
All right.
I'm bouncing.
Well, you mentioned coronavirus while we're in that beautiful shed of yours.
Imagine that. We're going to talk about that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, might as well start it off exactly where everyone wants to go, right?
That's right. Let's do it. What about it, the coronavirus?
So how do you feel?
I feel fine. I'm not sick.
Okay. Do you know anyone that's gotten coronavirus?
I do.
How did they feel?
They felt like shit. They were sick for basically 12 weeks.
12 weeks, 3 months.
12 weeks, yeah. And it ended up going into their kidneys. So it affects your body and, all your systems. Yeah.
How old was this person?
Excuse me. she was probably or is probably in her, I don't know, early 40s,
Really?
late 40s, who knows. But it was one of my students' parents.
Students' parents. All right, I'm gonna just adjust this chair right quick.
No, you're cool, man. Do your thing.
I like
So
I like the edge thing. That way everybody can see while we're talking. That's actually a good idea.
Right.
Could have set me up better for that.
Well, I'll do better next time.
All right. So is she okay? Did she go to the hospital? Can we hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
There's that thing that Joe Rogan says all the time? Is that true? Just a fist way away from your mouth?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just want to be able to make sure have plenty of space, but you don't want to be back here.
So a fist.
I don't know. Maybe like a saxophone fist.
A saxophone? You want me to be this far away?
I don't know.
So she got the coronavirus. Did she go to the hospital?
She ended up going to the hospital and spending like 3 days in the intensive care or whatever.
Holy shit! So it was really serious.
Yeah, man. And
is she? I don't want to.
You're fine. Keep
asking
asking.
This question, but is she a plus or size woman?
No, she's fine.
She just looked like a normal, healthy person.
Yeah, I didn't ask her if she has any, pre-existing conditions or whatever. In fact, maybe I will or whatever.
You probably shouldn't ask that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you shouldn't have to get specific, but
Yeah, but that's probably a little personal.
Well, then maybe I won't ask that.
Fuck it.
How about that?
Ask him.
Oh, now I can ask him.
Fuck him. Do whatever you want. Who am I to tell you what to do?
Hey, this is Will. So anyway, yeah, she got the corona, and in fact, I was supposed to go over to their house and teach. Obviously, I'm not going to give any names, but they texted me and they said, "Hey, I'm not feeling very well. I think I got the corona. You can still come by."
Oh, fuck. So she's still ready for you to hang out.
She was, I think she was maybe joking because she's a comedian at times, and so maybe she was just joking, but I was like, hell no. So about 3 months later, I went over there and I'm teaching again. So
she's fine. Family didn't get it.
Well, I don't, I think, yeah, she's the only one who got it, but Thank God. Just got back from a trip and her roommate got it. So we're basically taking a 2-week hiatus. So, I mean, it's still, look,
it's always weird when you hear people that get it and then like things go really wrong. The segue to coronavirus is like such an expansive topic, right? We've been talking about it every day for like 6 months, maybe a little bit less. Well, hell, I guess November, right? I actually remember all my friends used to make fun of me because I have, different friend groups, of course, like we all do.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. God damn, this beer is.
I know
that's right in the chest.
Hey, that's double jeopardy, baby. 10%.
10%. So, all my friends used to make fun of me. So, one of my friend groups is like my college friend group that I all met, like Mike and Tim and all these people that are just like lawyers and stuff. They're all straight edge kind of people. They don't believe anything that's not directly from Fox or CNN or like these little sites. So, I posted. It was in China. One of the head doctors, he ended up dying. Was coming out with that little whistleblowing video.
Right, I remember that.
It was I found it on World Star and I posted it to all my friends and like Facebook and stuff. And they're all like, sure, buddy. And then like 3 months later, I was just like,
CNN said it, right?
I was like, I fucking told you, I'm not fucking crazy. Right.
So you were hip to the Rona back in November?
Yeah, I was hip to the Rona back in November. And it wasn't like I was personally scared because like, I didn't prepare for it at all. And I didn't take it very seriously at first. Like I wouldn't say I didn't take it seriously at first. I was just so like dumbfounded and was like, I don't know what to do. Right. And then there's so many different types of data coming out. So I was just kind of in a moment of like, I don't really know what to do. I'm going to try to be safe. And then as time's come on, I've been able to make an informed opinion, whether it's wrong or right, on what I think my reason is with knowledge. But yeah, I was hip onto it early, man.
So yeah, you said November. Where were you getting your information in November?
World Star, actually. It's funny. One of my buddies was texting me about a new World Star video that was out. And I was looking at the same one. It was like the coronavirus, it was just this, I think it was a woman or a man. I remember the doctor ended up becoming like, a martyr for it all, but I think it might've been a woman. It was a healthcare worker either way. And he or she basically, or them, them or they were basically just saying, hey, this is huge. There was, I think the real news said like 2,000 people, and they were like, this could be up to 100,000 people. Like this is taking over. Our hospitals are slammed.
Really?
This is really serious. Yeah, and this was in China, and it was a whistleblower. And then that's when you had like 2 or 3 months of Chinese whistleblowers going missing, right? And then everyone was like, okay, what the fuck's going on? And then boom, it just hit the rest of the world like a fucking hurricane, right?
Sure.
I remember like Italy was just devastated. I remember they're showing videos of Italy and it looked like World War II, you know, minus the bombs being done. Like nobody was there and people were just like sick everywhere. I was like, holy shit.
Right, man, for sure. Yeah. My stepbrother who's dead now, died a few weeks ago, actually, June 22nd.
Really? I didn't know that.
Craig Valentine, rest your soul, my brother.
Oh my God.
He got the
stepbrother. Right.
Yeah.
That's not okay. I was thinking brother-in-law, stepbrother.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Yeah. My
mom or dad's side.
My mother married his father back in the days.
Wow. Were y'all close?
They're since divorced. Yeah. Well, we were close, and then we kind of had a little falling out recently. Not recently, but a few years. But you know, we still loved each other, but we just didn't really talk, and that's part of the. You know, I feel bad about that. And anyway, so I was talking. This was part of me trying to reconnect with him before he died. It was when Rona hit. I was like, man, I got to call him, you know? And so I was reaching out to him, couldn't get a hold of him. So I contacted his stepbrother, or my other stepbrother, his brother, and was talking with him. And supposedly Craig got sick back in January or December and was in the hospital with something. They didn't know what it was though, but it was coronavirus esque.
Wow.
And Parker was sick with it. The same symptoms as coronavirus back in December. That's my son. He's 13. And he had 103 fever for a few days. And then,
holy shit, you didn't take him to the doctor?
Well, yeah, we did. But then what they did was they gave him basically the steroid, the regimen that you hear on the news lately. It was a steroid, anti-inflammatory, and, you know, they're giving zinc out as well. But so, you know, antibiotic, steroid, and an anti-inflammatory. And
they just cleared it up.
And they just said, yeah, and it cleared up. And they just said, I don't know what it is, some kind of flu-like thing.
That's kind of dangerous because Parker's a little guy, you know?
Sure. Well, he's allergic to penicillin as long as they didn't. But you know, he's got a good health. He's not.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, it's just, you know, he's a little guy as in he's healthy compared to, like, you know, some of these 13-year-old kids in his class, I'm sure, that are, you know, just like fucking doughboys rolling through class, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They're having to change the fucking desk we're in because we're, you know, harassing fat people because they no longer can fit in the fucking desk, you know, like, but all jokes aside, you know, I don't know if we're really doing that, but, you know, a lot of those kids, I see them all the time, and, you know, it breaks my heart because you're a walking fucking trap for any disease that you get in your little body that his immune system hasn't been shown to anything. So like a child getting is scary because they don't have an immune system, you know, that's been used to fighting these things like some of us have.
Sure.
Right? You know, they're not in that prime. There's a lot of things you don't know about their bodies yet and stuff. And they're growing too. So you don't want anything to stop that. So it's a very scary thing, but at least he's tiny, you know, he's in shape. He's not this fucking doughboy that's got diabetes.
That's what you're saying, right? Yeah, no, and he does jujitsu. In fact, we need to get him going back on that again. But Mama's been a little hesitant, you know, with the Rona.
Oh yeah, well you know, Mama's got to be a mama.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, you know, let him roll with the mask on. That'll be good for his cardio.
Dude, what they did now is you have to roll with the same person every single day. So like you pick a partner and you basically try to be there at the same time as your partner.
Is this at the Octopus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right. I went like a couple times, and then I was super fucking into lifting. So I just started lifting because I was lifting 5 days a week, and it was hard for me to go to jiu-jitsu and lift and do school. It wasn't hard. I was just not disciplined enough to do it, you know, so I just picked one. And that was fucking awesome. I loved lifting. And then I just stopped like 3 weeks ago. I was going through some like just deathly, I wouldn't say like depression, but just like deathly just downness, you know, with not having anything to do. And like summer school was really easy, and coronavirus had everything closed. Like 2 of my like top 3 best friends just moved. So like I had nothing, you know, I was just bored out of my fucking mind. So I was just sad. I didn't want to like do good things for my body. I just wanted to like, you know, mope around and watch YouTube and, you know, drink whiskey at like 6 p.m.
So I was going to say 6 a.m.
Yeah, no. I mean,
you got scruples.
I drink a ton. I definitely got a problem, right? We wouldn't be friends if I didn't.
Speak for yourself, bro. I need another one.
Yeah, there you go. Right. No, but no, I don't drink. I tried to when I was young, like, cause I used to drink, I started drinking at 13. Right. And at one point it was cool to drink. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt cool. I felt like a man, you know, I was having a cocktail, even though my cocktail was like, 60%, 70% orange juice and like very little vodka because it was so strong. I remember my first beer I mixed with Coca-Cola.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get the buzz, Phil?
No, my dad set me up. He knew that I'd been like wanting to drink, I think I was like 11 or 10. And I'm sure I had like a beer as a kid, just like a play beer, somebody's like, take a sip of this, son, but no, like my first beer that I was like, all right, I'm gonna steal this fucking beer. I was so smart about it too, but I was dumb as fuck at the same time. Like when you're a kid, you have like a genius idea, but you don't think it through. So like my idea was and my dad knew. So first thing was him being super smart. He bought a 6-pack of Natty Lights. The worst fucking beer in the world, right?
Shit, when you're a kid though, that's fantastic. Just that beer smell.
Oh my God. So he put a 6-pack in there, and my dad drank a little bit, but he was never an alcoholic. I've never seen my dad drunk. So he put it in there and just left it for like a little while. He's like, I'm going out of town for a couple of days, because he always goes out of town for a little while or something. Maybe it was just at work. And I was like, all right. So I got a needle from my mom's sewing kit, and I put a needle in the bottom of it. And then I poured it into a glass and just let it sit there. It took like 20 minutes, right? It was just barely a needle.
Then you put the can back in the fridge.
I put the can back in the fridge. And in my head, I was like, he'll never know. And if it does, I'll be like,
I don't know. They sold you an empty can, Dad.
It was a great start of an idea. It wasn't a good finish to the idea, right? I was just like, all right, so it definitely is not going to be open. So there's no way he'll know. I didn't think about it through. So I did it. And I remember trying to drink it, and I was like, So I was like, I put it with like Coca-Cola. And so I was like 10 years old, drinking like a beer with Coca-Cola. My dad came home, and it took him like,
oh, you put it in the Coca-Cola.
It took him like 36 seconds from when he walked through that door to figure out that I drank the beer. And the funny thing was, I remember my dad, he gave me that like little talk, but like normally when he gives me a talk, he's like pretty pissed, right? And it's like he was a pretty hard guy in that one. And like his talk was more like, as an adult now, I realized inside he was laughing, right? Because like he was just like,
Right.
Hey, you can't be drinking. I know you stole it, and I know you're lying to me and all this stuff. He's like, but you can't be doing that. Normally he'd be like angry, and he was just kind of really chill. And then I remember him like later, he was like, how did it taste? Because he knew he got me the shittiest possible beer to try to get my first beer.
Sure. But then you told him that you mixed it with Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I told him mix with Coca-Cola. He laughed his ass off.
And he said, you dumbass.
Yeah.
What are you doing mixing beer with Coca-Cola?
He just laughed. He just fucking thought it was hilarious. Already on your second, huh?
Well, I mean, already, huh? You're just so judgmental with your treasure truck hat on.
Look, man, I
Sucking
work
Amazons.
This is a great company that doesn't pay people shitty wages and makes them stand up for 18 hours and then outsources all their stuff. This is a great company. Yeah. Speaking of that, without getting too far off track, did you see the Ricky Gervais and I don't know, the Academy Awards or Emmy Awards or Actors Guild or whatever the fucking award show that was? Ricky Gervais, the guy that did the English Office.
Of course I know Ricky. He's great. He's a fantastic.
I hate British people. Sorry, nobody's from fucking Britain will ever see this, but I hate British people. I don't like hate them as people, or like I don't know. I probably wouldn't hire one, but like just in general, like I wouldn't throw things at them and like beat them up and then call them like weird British. Is there a slang, like a mean thing for British people?
I have no idea.
Like what is the N word for British people?
I have no idea.
I know back in the day we'd call them redcoats.
Yeah,
that's not really him. Either way,
you call them Brits. You call them.
Does any country have like a mean thing? I don't think so.
Yeah, Americans.
Assholes.
I don't know. They just call them Americans. Oh, damn American.
Yeah, the American's pretty negative as it is.
I mean, it's been like that for a long time, and trust me, Obama didn't smooth anything out.
Well, to be honest, Americans are assholes, especially overseas. They're the fucking worst.
Are they?
Americans are the worst. Aussies are number 2, hands down. Always.
Really?
Like that. Aussies are basically Americans. And I've partied all the fucking across the world, right? And anytime you get to Southeast Asia, Aussies are there because Southeast Asia is like Mexico for, North Americans. It's just hop, skip, and jump away. Third world country. Everyone can fucking party. And even if it's not a third world country, it's a lot cheaper than Australia where the liquor tax is through the fucking roof and you got to worry about kangaroos and snakes and shit. But anyways, they're all frat boys. So they all just get fucking together and go, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Or these little chants and they're all like fucking giant frat boys in their little shorts and shit. Oh, dude, it's the worst, man. They just get fucked up.
Bunch of Chads.
Bunch of Chads, man.
Bunch of Chads. Speaking of Chads or Chaz, no, actually. So let me ask you this. When you go somewhere, do you put your mask on? And how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, we just been circling around ideas, huh?
Well, no, we can do whatever we want, bro.
Yeah, I do it, and I think it's a good thing. Like at first, I had that moment where I was like, "Fuck them, fuck this stupid mask. This is so fucking stupid." You know, like nobody's really, I don't know. But now it's just like, it is what it is. It's not fucking hurting anybody, and I don't have to wear a mask when I walk outside, like California and some shit like
You
that.
can
Like,
get fined like $100
yeah, like,
or
dude,
50
look,
bucks.
I'm a firm believer. You're a fucking private business. If you want me to wear a tutu to come into your fucking place,
And-
you
right.
absolutely can. That's your.
And if I don't want to do business with you,
Then fuck
then I
off.
won't do it.
It's a
Right.
consensual
You know
relationship.
that not to cut you off, but check this out. So remember back in the days when those right-wing bakery shops wouldn't serve the gay people,
Yeah.
and people got all up in arms about that.
You know that, yeah.
And now they're not serving. They don't want people. They will not serve people if you're not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And it's the business's right. That's all. I just want to point out a little hypocrisy. No big deal.
Do you know the story behind that?
Which one?
The bakery?
All right, go for it.
So this is actually the real story behind that. It's been proven that couple, the gay couple that was
yeah, I think I know where you're going.
They went to a bunch of places to find the person that wouldn't serve them, so that way they could make a huge deal about that and start suing them. They ended up losing the lawsuit, by the way.
Did they?
Yeah, the bakery won.
Good. I mean, you look,
but it hasn't set a precedent, long term for it. It just won that specific lawsuit. It's fucking crazy, right? Like, this is ridiculous, right? And I don't mean this but this is how strong I feel about this. If I went to a business and they said, I don't want to let blank race in here, right? Like whether it's black people, white people, Asian people, Mexican, anyone. If they said just straight up on the sign, I don't want white people in here, I don't want Mexican or black people in there, that is absolutely their right. And I fully support that. Because guess what? Capitalism and the free market is going to get that business shut the fuck down because it'll be on the internet. Right. Nobody will ever go there anymore.
Cancel culture will get them.
And I mean, it's right. Like, I'm not going to buy from someplace. Like, if I walked into a store and they said, like, no black people allowed in the store, I would walk right the fuck out. Right. Like, I would never buy from there because I'm not going to give you my money.
What about, I mean, whatever. I'm not trying to get controversial here, but what about black entertainment television? Things that are specifically black or other
there's a huge difference between that, right?
They're not getting canceled.
Like HBCUs is a great example, right? Historic black universities and stuff like that. BET is an important thing because it allows black culture in itself to promote itself. Everyone's argument is, well, there is no white entertainment, right? That is entertainment for the most part.
Right.
And maybe not now, like we have everybody that's from different races and stuff, but when BET came along,
right,
30 years before that, they were still doing blackface instead of putting a black artist on TV, right? So, I mean, they wanted a specific area where they can do that.
Wait a minute. Who was putting blackface on TV?
You've been doing blackface since 1900. I mean, in 1912 they were doing blackface.
I thought they stopped doing blackface since the 1930s.
1930s, and then BET was like in the 60s, right? Or 60s or 70s? 80s? Okay, so 50 years. I'm sorry.
Or 90s. Yeah.
I think it was definitely 80s.
Oh, let's look it up.
Let's look it up. That's an important one.
Jamie,
look that shit up.
That's what they should call Siri instead of Jamie. We should,
Jamie?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be a great app. I would love a fucking Joe Rogan podcast with Jamie. Just Joe and Jamie.
I think he's been on there before.
Really?
Yeah. He's pretty chill. He's just as chill as he is, but he smokes and he's definitely.
I've seen his Instagram.
What am I looking up? Sorry.
When did BET be formed?
BET,
I think I'm gonna guess here, even though I just exaggerated a lot with blackface. 1984.
Well, I got to fact check you on this because I was around when BET started.
You are. I was born in 91.
It was founded in 1980, actually. So.
1980. So I'm gonna probably say in the 40s there was still blackface. I'm gonna say that in the 40s there were blackface. I don't know why I held the mic like I was I feel like I was in my political thing. In the 40s there were blackface. Either way, blackface was a rap. So I think that concept of BET is just allowing something where they can focus on promoting that, right? And that's important because for the longest time they haven't had that, right? Now, if somebody continues to come out with a black this, black that, then they'll say, we're a minority. We want to have something for minorities, which is true. I think we're the less than 20% of America or some shit. But we live in America. We live in Atlanta where it's not 20%. So it's kind of a
Right.
different feel. But if you
Yeah,
go to
well,
like
yeah.
Montana, there's like what, 7 black people that live in Montana?
I don't know, maybe 6. Yeah, maybe 8.
There's a ridiculously few number.
Sure. But, you know, I mean, I grew up in Kansas, though. And you'd think that there's maybe not a lot of black people in Kansas. But shit, there's everybody in Kansas, man. Are you kidding me? And there's all kinds of people. Like, I hung out with white people, black people, Asian people, Mexicans. The Asians were dressing like black people. The black people were dressing like white people. The white people were dressing like black people. And I mean, seriously, that's just the real deal. Like, you had your white people dressing like, you know, with your hats on backwards and sagging pants. You know,
Oh yeah.
we called them names that I'm not going to say because we're over here on the podcast. But
Well, back in the day, it was fucked up, I'm sure.
and no, it was fine. This is actually the way you did it. You know, they call it now appropriation.
Yeah.
But the truth is,
some fucking bullshit.
I mean, that's how you do it, man. You know, and the Asians were dressing like black people because
a lot of stories.
we had these. It was when bell bottoms came back.
Oh my god!
And so,
you're old.
Well, no, this is in the 90s, man. It was different kind of bell bottoms. It was like big. You remember the Jinkos?
I remember the ones that a lot of like the Slipknot fans used to wear. That would like when you walked in the water, they'd get soaking fucking wet, you know, because they covered your shoe. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Jinkos.
And then
they're back now, right?
I don't know if they're back like that, but then remember the starter coats.
I had a Dallas Cowboys starter coat.
And Dallas Cowboys starter coats was what the Asian people wore.
I always had a Dallas Cowboys starter coat.
Yeah.
I remember I had a Dallas Cowboys starter coat. That was like the earliest thing I could remember. I wore it everywhere I went. Huge Dallas Cowboy fan.
Yep. So, you know, you had the Asian people dressing like black people, but then when the black person dressed like that, because they didn't end up dressing like that, but it was like of a earlier time, maybe a year or so earlier. Then when the black person ended up dressing like the Asian person does, now the black person's dressing like the Asian person. So, because I had a buddy that was that did that, and you know they were like, "Oh, Reggie's trying to be Asian," you know, and you know it's
a crazy time where we have to like accuse now. Maybe like if you sag your pants or like if you wear like maybe. I don't know. I mean, most people, it's really hard to say like somebody dresses as another race now. Everybody dresses the same. I mean, like there's a few characteristic that really works. Well, like Asian people really got like the prototypical like South Korean style where you got the long pants, but they stop like right at the calf, you know, they're up a little bit, or like black people sag a little bit.
Do you have your phone on you?
People got the camouflage,
right?
Or the tucked in shirts all with a belt buckle.
Here's my appropriation. Check your phone.
Oh, I've seen your appropriation. It comes up on my phone.
Right. You know, people have called me out on that, not in a bad way, but they've mentioned it, and some people like it, you know.
I mean, you know,
because look at me. Am I white? I mean, the light might make me white, but
no. I mean, you could be anybody. Why don't you do one of those 23andMe's?
Well, because I think I like the mystery.
I did too. I did 23andMe because I thought it could help me find like the best health for myself, like what diet, what my body was used to and shit. It was a garbage. It didn't tell me shit. It didn't tell me shit. They gave me like 60 traits, and the traits were like, you know, do you have? I mean, it was like shit. I already know. Like, do you like salt or sweet food? I'm like, bitch, I'm me. I know what I like. And it was cool that it was able to tell me you probably like salty food, which I do. Like a lot of the things were correct. Like you probably don't like cilantro. Like that was cool. But like for real information, I was like, dude, I'm me. Why the fuck would I not know that I don't like cilantro, right? You know, like this is a stupid thing.
They're trying to connect you liking cilantro with your genetics.
Yeah, I mean, like there was some cool shit, but it could have been a 50-50. They didn't tell me shit about my diet. It was cool to find I don't have any pre-existing like genetic dispositions that I can pass on to my child. Like I think everyone should do it, but probably not 23andMe. That thing sucked. But a more advanced one right before you have a kid. But in the same center, like, fuck it, bro. Like,
yeah, man.
If you know your kid might have a chance, like, what are you going to do? Let somebody else have sex with your wife?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
where's the sign-up sheet, I guess? You know what? Is that what you do? No, I don't think so.
That's why I put a fuck ton of money in CRISPR lately, guys.
That's what I was going to say. Unless you can truly do something about it.
Yeah. CRISPR
went up. And that's what CRISPR is all about.
Yeah.
And that's a home kit, too.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to change the world, man. Wait till we get to the Superman that you can just – I want my kid to be a six-pack. You know, fucking 6'8", 230 pound. I'm taking his ass to the NFL.
Yeah,
and I'm retiring.
What do you think about it being available and at like a home kit, and anybody can literally genetically modify anything they want?
That would be.
No, it is. That's what CRISPR is. You can literally get the kit and.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah! It's been for years they've had it.
It's gonna get a little bit more advanced, I'm sure. that you can actually make some real adjustments. I don't know. I think it's there's soon to be a time in this world where the idea of humans being equal is not going to be true. And the only fear that I have is that the people that can afford that shit are the people that are going to just fucking pillage this world with perfect jet. And once they're perfect, why the fuck would they even allow that information to get out, right? It's like, okay, I'm super rich and I know how to get super rich, so I'm going to tell everybody, and they're going to get. Well, then I'm not going to be as super rich.
No, you're going to keep it quiet for a while.
Dude, it's gonna be
until
fucking.
it gets out.
It's gonna be interesting.
It
if your
probably
kid's
already
gonna have
is.
a giant, if you can change somebody's IQ to like 200, why would you not want your child to have a 200 IQ?
Who's to say they're not already doing that, Will? Honestly, you know, just because we're just now on the fringe of the technology, that's when it comes out to us, or that's when we're aware of it, is when it's already centralized and then it starts fraying out, you know.
How much money would you need? Like, what does Jeff Bezos know that I don't know?
Man, he's building a spaceship that's going to be floating in space.
Blue Origin.
And it's called.
No, it's not Blue Origin.
Yep, it is the Blue Origin.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's that Blue Origin project. And then Elon Musk is going to Mars. So what do these motherfuckers know that we don't know? That it's time to get the hell off this planet. That's what I think. That, you know.
You think so?
Well, that's what a lot of people are thinking. You know, you even have Eric Weinstein. I don't know if you listen to him.
Yeah, he's getting in.
He's cool. He's ready to get the hell off this planet. But
I think the opposite.
I do too.
I think devil's advocate. I think nobody gives a fuck about this planet getting off. I don't think we're definitely fucking the planet up, right? But rich people don't give a fuck. You know, they're gonna figure this shit out, right? And here's the thing. Like, if you could go to Mars, would it really be that cool to be by yourself?
No, I don't want to go to Mars, bro.
I
have no interest to go to Mars.
I think I want to die on Mars.
Why?
Oh, don't get too deep into this one yet. Hold on. Let me jump back to what I was about to say. I think the reason why everyone is doing this, and it's the reason why I'm getting back into it, is because I think it's the next gold rush.
Right.
Asteroids that are very close to us, they have, name a mineral, gold. One asteroid in space that we can get to has more gold than all of Earth, right? When you're able to mine these things for these materials, everything just goes through the roof, right? You control the largest resources in the world, right? You can control the market, when to put it in. And then when you get to like going to Mars, Elon Musk is a very simple idea, unless he's just lying to everybody, but he seems pretty reasonable. Tesla's to make the world better. SpaceX is if Tesla fails, right? Tesla's to save the world from all this bullshit carbon and all this stuff like that. If Tesla fails,
if we got to get the fuck
SpaceX
out of here.
is if we fail, right? that was always his thought.
Oh, that's hilarious. I've never heard him say it like that though.
That's what he says. Yes, that's it, man. So I love Tesla. I think they got a handle. So I'm gonna try to work for SpaceX, do that. But I think everyone just wants to make money. But Jeff Bezos, not Elon. I'm sure Elon wants to make money. He's worth 80 billion right now.
Sure.
He just jumped up. His net worth jumped up from like 6 billion to 80 billion.
Hey, man, in my opinion, dude, I have nothing but love for that Elon Musk guy. Now, Jeff Bezos, I don't know anything about him. He seems a little creepy, but
he seems like a cocksucker.
Dude, he seems creepy as fuck, dude. But Elon Musk seems like a rad cat.
Dude, Elon Musk would be somebody I would want to party with.
Yeah, man, you'd want to be friends with him, dude.
Yeah, I just don't think we. He seems like a weirdo.
He is weird, dude. Can you imagine that? I mean, you know, he thinks through everything. He's an engineer. He's a designer, and so he's always thinking. And from when he was a kid, he's always been making money, and he's been hustling. You know. Yeah,
and I don't mean weird as in like he's gonna shoot your cat or he eats babies, but like, you know, just weird as in he's so different than everyone else because he's just like a savant,
right?
You know, when it comes to engineering and education.
Exactly right.
I always say when he's in the room with somebody, he knows as much as that person knows of everything, and he's just like, what the fuck?
Sure.
Yeah. So he's just an interesting cat.
Yeah. No, I am fascinated listening to Elon Musk. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's quick. He's slow, but he's profound as fuck. You know, it's like he knows what he's going to say, but he'll sit back and he'll let the time sit. And then he's like, well, you know, frankly, I think that the AI is going to take it over, and I think it's already too late. But that's why I'm fighting it. You know, it's already too late. We're already done, is what he says.
Yeah, Elon's got some dark theories, but when you're that smart, you've already seen the future and shit. You know,
dude. Speaking of the future, let's talk about that. I know we kind of jumped, but let's talk about AI.
Oh, I don't know shit about AI.
Okay, have you heard of Sophia?
Yeah, I know Sophia. I mean, I've listened to AI podcasts.
You know,
Lex
Lex,
Friedman
right?
is, just a great guy. He's able to really break it down for idiots like
But he's a
me.
Russian.
Well, he's a fucking patriotic. Well, he played that weird song one time.
He's a Ruski.
Yeah. Well, Russians are badass.
He makes
bro.
me a little weird.
I like Russians. I fuck with Russia a lot.
Well, I appreciate that, but
People
I'm
are
a
gonna
little
be like, oh yeah.
I'm a little weirded out about Russians. You know?
I like Russians, dude. They're fucking badasses, right? I think Russia and America have a lot in common.
Mhm.
As people, they're both like fucking. When nowadays Americans look like goddamn pussies, but forever, they're just rough and tough.
Why do we look like pussies now?
Because we're just, look what's just arguing all the time. It's just most of our media is just social justice warriors versus this,
Sure.
and
Right.
just arguing all the time.
Fucking
And then you got like Karens yelling at people for not wearing the right clothes. Like back in the day, we used to be pretty rough and tough, right?
Yeah, that's distractions. Yeah.
Russia doesn't have none of that shit. But Russian people and American people have always been pretty rough, pretty tough. Don't always have the best circumstances, always persevere.
Resilient, right.
When times get tough, it's not like Britain sometimes where everyone doesn't come together.
Well, there's a lot of
America
people. There's a lot of people out there right now that say that this little social justice warrior movement right now is America being rough, America being patriotic, true patriots, tearing down the system, going down there, spray painting the murals and taking them down and defunding the police. They say that that's patriotic. They say that this is your true patriotism, and this is what it means to be a true American.
Hey, man, I would love for those people to understand what it means, but to be a true American, you can kiss my fucking ass. Look, there's definitely some systematic. Oh, you know what? Can we take a timeout?
Yeah, let's take a timeout.
All right, cool. Do we just pause it? How do we do this?
All right. So we're going to take a little time out. You won't know much, but we'll see you soon. Love you.
Okay.